Hello everyone! I thought I should do a Facebook Live video because, well, that's what everyone is doing. And then I realized I ain't everybody, I am just me, and I don't like doing Facebook videos. I don't like the idea of doing them, not sure why. Let us not therapize me. So I've made a couple of notes of things that have been really challenging this first week of working online and things that have kept me going forward. And I didn't make a list, but in the end of this video I will add some reflections about moving forward. What do I want to do next week? So this is quite interesting times. My school was one of the first here to realize that we had to start moving online and had to isolate. So we've spent the whole week working from home. In Portugal, the state of emergency has been declared, but I'm very happy to say and proud to see that all that is reasonable is allowed. So people are allowed to go out and walk to catch some air. They're allowed to walk their dogs. They're allowed to walk with their kids. As long as you live in a shared place, you are allowed to be walking together too, because that makes sense, right? You're in the same house anyway, so you're probably infecting each other anyway. But it's all about common sense. And I went out for a walk. It was raining and not pleasant, but I really loved just being outside for half an hour. So I went for a walk down the main road, and it's great to see that people are taking this seriously. People are out there on a mission, people that you see outside are going out for a walk, or they're going to run, or they're walking their dogs. Nobody's hanging out and chatting with their buddy and so on. So that is good. What has been challenging this week? Information overload for sure, and screen time. I've been onto my computer screen so many hours I've lost count. In terms of information, wow, it's fabulous that there's so much information accessible to us. But at the same time, of course, we definitely need to know how to filter, how to mute accounts that we don't want to be reading. And yeah, it's a challenge to have so much information, but I wouldn't change it for the world. It's wonderful to have access to so much quality information. It's wonderful to have the discernment to know what is a good source, what is scientifically backed, what is hoax. It's wonderful to feel healthy enough to want to know what's going on. It's wonderful to be privileged enough to live in a comfortable home that has access to fast internet. Because in times of isolation, it's very easy to say, stay home, don't go out. If you live in a comfortable home, if you have a beautiful balcony, if you have a garden, which I don't have, but still, I live in a very comfortable house, and I'm well aware that there are people that are sharing very confined spaces, full of darkness, moisture in the air, cold and uncomfortable, and there's probably 7 or 8 people packed in a room with no opportunity for any private time. And so I understand that I am privileged in that sense, and I know that others are more privileged because they've got gardens and so on. But it's really important for us to remind ourselves of our places and our luck in the world. And also, this virus is the same for everyone. It attacks everybody the same. But just like in George Orwell's novel, some are more equal than others, right? We're not exactly equal. It hits us in different ways. If in Portugal we have a health system that is being destroyed slowly but surely by greed and private insurance lobbies, but it still functions. The national health system still functions, and if anyone that is in this country at the minute needs to be tested, they can be tested. You call a line, and if they believe you have symptoms that mean that you should be checked, you get checked for free right away. And you don't even have to go to a hospital. There are drive-through places, multiple places that you can just drive through in your car and get tested. That's beautiful. Challenges. Backaches. Oh my goodness. I am so used to being active. My job means that I'm always up and down, upstairs, downstairs, you know, moving around the classroom, moving around school premises. And this week I've just been stuck to a chair. So I had to go to work to borrow a chair. I did ask, so I'm so grateful that I've got a more comfortable chair now. Still on the guilt and helplessness, I teach kids who mostly have good home support and good home family networks and equipment, technology, but I'm well aware that there are children out there that are missing out on warm meals because they can't go to school. And also they don't have the technology to follow all the learning they could be following, and more importantly, even the technology, they might not have adults around them to support them and encourage them. And I'm glad to see that there are quite a few initiatives of people sending things home, packages of learning going to families' homes, so that's also hopeful. And talking of hopefulness, I want to move to the first thing that I'd actually written, which was about what has kept me going this week. So definitely number one thing has been listening to my kids' voices, my babies, because of these platforms that we're on. We are using Seesaw at my school, and this allows you to send your kids videos and get audios back from them. Of course, it's been overwhelming to balance all the working from home, and it's been overwhelming not just for us on the teaching side, creating resources, putting them out, being quick, being positive, but also on the family side. Like, lots of these people are working from home now, and they have these wee ones running around asking for help and attention and love and time. And also some parents are working out there and in hospitals, so they have to be away from their babies. What else has kept me going? A daily walk or run outside. That, just the idea of that. I feel like a puppy. I just feel like a puppy. I'm like, this is not it, gonna go. And so I just go outside and I come back. Sadly, the park, there's a beautiful park out just nearby, but it has been closed. I sort of understand the idea because, well, although it's big, I guess if there are a certain number of people in the park, then it's hard to keep a 2-meter distance, right? So we have to be socially responsible, and yeah, I was very happy. I was nervous thinking when the state of emergency got declared that maybe we would be in full 100% lockdown and have to be inside our homes. So on the morning before it was decided, I went for a quick run at sunrise, and I thought, okay, this might be my last run before this massive thing. And I got caught on national television. That was quite exciting because a number of people sent me a video of me running with a very stern face because I had all these thoughts in my mind and all these concerns. But it was cool to be on telly, I must say. Another thing that's kept me going is this gut feeling that this is exactly what we needed. Sounds crazy. Maybe it's crazy, but I've got this. It's not just a gut feeling. I've seen companies supporting local hospitals, these amazing drive-thrus for testing being created overnight, people working, risking their lives for the well of others. So, and I'm also seeing the social responsibility out there. I'm seeing that people are being socially responsible, and they're protecting their loved ones, and they're protecting those that are more fragile. Just thinking of all the climate emergencies that have been declared lately, and how slow we were to respond to those, and how quickly we've now responded. So it's good. It's good. It gives me hope. I've got hope that we will learn from this, that we will question how countries are governed, how our communities are governed, and we'll stick together. But of course, for that, we need to be using better sources instead of just sharing all this crap about what are the 10 things you're doing while you're doing quarantine so you're not bored. Don't be bored. There's so much out there that you can do that is useful. Another thing that has kept me going is creating random podcast episodes just because. There's no reason, nobody pays me for them, and I just want to do them. So that keeps me going. Something that excites me. And of course, seeing that people are enjoying them also excites me. Another thing that has kept me going for sure is sharing this house, sharing this space, sharing my life, sharing this moment of craziness with somebody that I deeply love, deeply honor, admire, and am highly compatible with. That is just a huge blessing. I have read, and it makes sense, that domestic violence will start to go up with people, living in these confined spaces and spending so many hours together. So that's actually an episode that I want to design this weekend for my podcast about non-violent communication. Because of course we need to communicate, we want to communicate with those we love and we're spending so much time with, but we're not necessarily very good at it. And at the same time, we don't want to just shut down communication and pretend everything's okay, because that will drive us nuts. So I want to do an episode on that this weekend. Finally, I want to share what my ideas are for moving forward for next week. Fewer hours on my school tasks, for sure. I am passionate, and that's why I spend so many hours on it, but it eats up a lot of energy, and it's not good for me, and then it will ultimately not be good for my kids. So I haven't entirely decided how I'm going to do this. If you have any ideas for how to balance it out, the screen time, work time, non-work time, let me know. I'm thinking of possibly setting some alarms on my phone, and those alarms will say, break time, get out of there. But like I said, if you have any good ideas, let me know. More physical activity, that is for sure. More physical activity. I want to do a daily walk or run and a daily yoga practice. I might set up a number here, so go 4 yoga practices a week. You can ask me about this next week, see if I'm doing it. 4 yoga practices per week, okay? And also more social connection. I've done a few calls, but I want to do more. Yeah. So what about you? How's this going for you? What are your biggest challenges? What are the things that are keeping you moving forward? And what are the changes you're going to make it even better? Right? Together, we've got this.